dividing numbers written in scientific notation. We're going to be doing exactly what the topic says. We're dividing numbers that are written in scientific notation. If you are unfamiliar with scientific notation, you'll want to go back and look at some of the videos that cover scientific notation. I'm not going to be covering what scientific notation is here. I'm just going to be talking about dividing numbers written in scientific notation. So when you're dividing numbers in scientific notation, you divide these numbers out front, and then you'll multiply by 10 raised to the, and it's top exponent minus bottom exponent. So you divide the numbers, and then it's top exponent minus bottom exponent. So for 2.4 times 10 to the negative 6 over 6 times 10 to the 7, out front I would have 2.4 divided by 6. Then top exponent is 6 minus the bottom exponent is 7. So on my calculator, I'm doing 2.4 divided by 6, and it gives me 0.4. Negative 6 minus 7 is negative 13. Now, this isn't in scientific notation. In order to be in scientific notation, there has to be a number here other than 0. So I need to be able to move this decimal place over 1 to put the number into scientific notation. However, I can't just move numbers willy-nilly. So if I move that over, I would just have the number 4. But if you make this number bigger, so we're taking 0.4 and making him into regular 4, which makes him bigger. If you make this number bigger, you need to make the exponent smaller. So I'm going to subtract 1 from the exponent. So now we have 4 times 10 to the negative 14th, and that's my answer. Let's try another. 9.6 times 10 to the 8 over 1.5 times 10 to the negative 7. So I'm going to divide the numbers out front, just the way they look. Then it's top exponent, which is 8, minus the bottom exponent. So this is really important. You are not just doing minus 7, you're subtracting negative 7. So on my calculator, I'm doing 9.6 divided by 1.5, and I get 6.4, which is nice because that number is going to be in scientific notation. And then 8 minus negative 7 is the same thing as 8 plus 7, which is 15. So our answer here is 6.4 times 10 to the 15th. Let's do one more for good measure. 2.7 times 10 to the negative 4th over 9 times 10 to the negative 9th. Once again, out front, we're going to divide 2.7 by 9. And then it's top exponent, which is negative 4, minus bottom exponent, which is negative 9. Remember, that's going to turn into negative 4 plus 9, which will be 5. But on my calculator, I'm doing 2.7 divided by 9, and it gives me 0.3. And then we just discussed that this exponent would be 5. This is not in scientific notation because this number right here is not a number other than 0. So we need to make this number bigger by moving the decimal point over. So that would be 3 times. If you make one number bigger, if you make the number bigger, you make the exponent smaller. So I'm going to subtract 1 off of his exponent. So you have 3 times 10 to the 4th. And that's all you need to know for dividing numbers in scientific notation. If you've already done the multiplying video, then you'll know that it's very, very similar. So with division, you're subtracting exponents. With multiplication, you end up adding the exponents. That's the real big difference between the two. Obviously, you also divide these numbers out front when it's division, and you multiply when it's multiplication. But you got this. I believe in you. I know you're doing a great job. I know you're going to do great.